Hello everybody and welcome back to this week's retro review, where I travel back in time to revisit some of the pixelated masterpieces of our childhoods. This week I've been playing Super Metroid, which is the third installment in the very popular Metroid series. Once again you play as Samus and you start pretty much where the second game ended. As the cutscenes in the beginning tells you, you brought the infant Metroid from the second game to a space colony where scientists discovered that the Metroid's powers could be used for the good of mankind. Shortly after leaving, you get a distress call from the colony and return to investigate. You find that the scientists are all dead and the Metroid is in the hand of the space pirate Ridley. After getting to about 30%, Ridley flies away and the timer starts for you to get the fuck out of there. You follow Ridley to the nearby planet Thebes, and here's where the game really starts. So, your objective is to get Metroid back and kill all the bad guys. The way you do that is by exploring the planet and pick up items that help you get to new areas, such as missiles and bombs that help you blow up doors and blocks, or different suits and abilities allowing you to withstand heat or jump high, for example. This game is very big and requires a lot of backtracking, which is something a lot of people don't like. Others, myself included, loves it, at least when it's done well, and Super Metroid does it very well. First starting to play this game, I found myself a bit overwhelmed by how big it is and how much backtracking you had to do, but once I got to learn the map, it got really fun. The feeling you get when you find a new item and know exactly where you're gonna go next to play with your new toy is a very satisfying feeling. It is, however, pretty easy to get stuck not knowing where you're supposed to go, at least if you haven't played the game before. Luckily though, we have the internet and don't need to call the Nintendo Club for help, which is something I remember doing a lot as a kid. There are plenty of save spots and most enemies drop health and ammo, so I didn't find myself dying too much. The hardest part is really knowing where to go. Having played a lot of left to right platformers recently, I find it pretty refreshing though. Not even the bosses are very hard once you figure them out. When it comes to the music, it isn't exactly something you put on your iPod, but it fits great in the game and sets a perfect tone. It changes from which area you're in and gets your adrenaline pumping when you run into a boss. The only real complaint I got about the game is that the space jump is a bit hard to use when you're not in water, but it's definitely not a game breaker. So overall I definitely recommend this game to anyone who likes backtracking or is a SNES fanboy like myself. Next week I'm going to take a look at a newer retro style game, Super Meat Boy, or if it's released, The Binding of Isaac. So if you want to see any of those games, please subscribe and let me know what you think of Super Metroid. Also, tell me what game you want to see me review.